How can you improve your self-esteem? Self-confidence is easy to spot but hard to develop. Everyone wants to be self-confident, but many don't know how to start building it. It takes some effort, and a willingness to stretch outside of your comfort zone, to gain confidence. You build it piece by piece, starting with noticing what you already have and appreciating your wins, no matter how small. It doesn't happen overnight. You may not realize it, but people want to see you succeed. And more than ever, there are resources to help you, to become the most authentically confident version of yourself. In the meantime, listen to this podcast to learn more about what self-confidence can mean in your life. What is self-esteem? Self-esteem relates to how we think and feel about ourselves, and how much value you think you have as a person. Your self-esteem can affect how you view achievements and setbacks. So if you have low self-esteem, for example, you're likely to focus more on your setbacks than your successes. People with low self-esteem often ignore their own achievements and positive things about themselves, and criticize themselves even when there's no reason to. For some people, self-esteem can vary in different situations. Everyone has different characteristics, things that determine how we view ourselves. How you feel about one characteristic can be very different to how you feel about another. For example, you might like your sense of humor, but dislike how you respond to a crisis. It's possible for your level of self-esteem to change between different parts of your life. For example, you might have low self-esteem when it comes to work, but feel more positive about the way you handle family relationships and responsibilities. However, it's not uncommon to have low or high self-esteem about every part of your life or all of your characteristics. Low self-esteem isn't a medical condition or mental illness on its own, although you can experience low self-esteem as a result of mental health issues. What affects self-esteem? Self-esteem is affected by implicit and explicit messaging. The people around you, like parents, teachers, friends and colleagues, will tell you things that affect your self-esteem either positively or negatively. At the same time, influences like social media and TV will give other messages about what is good and bad that can affect how you feel about yourself. Implicit means something isn't directly being said to you. Its meaning is something you interpret yourself. It's very common for people to interpret implicit messages in different ways. For some people it can be more positive, for others more negative. For example, if someone is posting on social media about being in the gym, you might get the implicit message that you're lazy because you're not in the gym. Explicit messaging is direct, it's what someone says to you. So if a teacher calls you stupid for doing poorly on a test, you will get the explicit message that you're stupid, even when you clearly aren't. What are the causes of low self-esteem? So, where does low self-esteem come from? The causes of low self-esteem are varied, and oftentimes compounded from different sources. Unfortunately, many causes of low self-esteem go undetected for a prolonged period of time, only being realized when a person becomes symptomatic. Here are some examples of potential causes of low esteem. 1. Authority figures in conflict. When parents or other primary caregivers fight or exhibit negative conflict, it can cause children or a young person to absorb the harmful emotions and distrustful situations that have been modeled for them. It can feel scary, overwhelming, and disorganizing for a child. This experience can also occur when only one parent is deeply distraught or acts unpredictably around the child. These experiences as a child can cause symptoms of low self-esteem while they're happening, or they can manifest for years, contributing to low self-esteem as an adult. The reason for this is that when a person is subjected to excessive conflicts between authority figures, it can feel as though they are actually part of, or responsible for, a parent's painful circumstance. Intense conflict can feel extremely threatening to a small child, who can come to believe they are to blame. This feeling of being tainted is often carried into adulthood. 2. Bullying. Being bullied as a child can leave its emotional marks for a long time. But if you have the support of a relatively safe, responsive, aware family, there is a much better chance of recovering and restoring self-esteem. However, if the home life already feels unsafe or unstable, external torture can create an overwhelming sense of being lost, abandoned, hopeless, and feelings of self-loathing. When primary caregivers are otherwise occupied during periods of bullying, a child can struggle with feeling undeserving of notice, unworthy of attention, and resentful at being shortchanged. When the world feels unsafe, shame and pain come to the forefront. These feelings can also arise in situations where parents are distracted by transitional states. If there's chaos at home, it can be hard for a child to ask for attention and, instead, retreat to become further isolated. As a child or adult, it can also create a sense of mistrust, feeling like anyone who befriends you is doing you a favor, either because you see yourself as damaged or that most people have predatory, ulterior motives. Without a supportive home life, the effects of bullying can be magnified well into adulthood. 3. Academic challenges. Those with a history of academic challenges are at risk to suffer from low self-esteem. Feeling incapable of understanding what was happening in the classroom can be paralyzing for a child or teen. As a student falls further behind without anyone noticing or intervening, feelings of stupidity and inadequacy become deeply internalized. As a child or adult, a challenged learner can easily become preoccupied with and excessively doubt their own intelligence and ability to learn, causing them to feel terribly self-conscious about sharing thoughts and opinions. The shame of feeling as if you aren't good enough can be difficult to shake, even after you learn ways to accommodate academic difficulties. 4. Trauma. Physical, sexual, or emotional abuse may be the most striking and overt causes of low self-esteem. Being forced into a physical and emotional position against your will can make it difficult to develop trust, which profoundly impacts self-esteem. Many trauma victims struggle with displaced guilt that can further feelings of shame and low self-esteem. In an effort to gain control of their circumstances, victims can convince themselves that they were complicit or even to blame. This method of coping with abuse can lead to feelings of self-loathing, repulsion, and deep shame. 5. Society and the media. It's no secret that people in the media are packaged and airbrushed into unrealistic standards of physical beauty. Though the seeds of low and unhealthy self-esteem can be sown elsewhere, images and depictions in television, movies, and advertising are pervasive and difficult to avoid. Unfortunately, as media access is available at such a young age, small children are exposed to unfair physical comparisons very early, which has been seen to lead to an eating disorder and a negative self-image. Feeling like you're not enough in physical or materialistic ways from a young age can have great impacts well into adulthood that can result in poor self-image. Self-confidence and self-esteem, are they the same? We often use self-confidence and self-esteem interchangeably because they're closely related. Self-confidence is most genuine and durable when it derives from healthy self-esteem. While they share similarities, there are distinct differences between the two. Self-confidence is outward-facing. It's what you put out to the world and what people around you see. Self-esteem is inward-facing and not always noticeable from the outside. Your confidence can come from knowledge and experience, whereas self-esteem is more about knowing yourself and valuing your self-worth. Low self-esteem or low self-confidence can cause self-doubt and negatively impact your mental health, well-being, and performance. Often, people tend to rely on their self-confidence for happiness in life. Instead of working on their self-esteem, which is about knowing and loving yourself, strengths and weaknesses, and developing an internal sense of worth, people work on their projected image and how others perceive them. This focus on projected confidence in order to seem successful can backfire without also developing self-esteem. People may not realize you have low self-esteem, but eventually, those you connect with will see through your self-confidence. It's crucial to note that self-confidence won't endure without healthy self-esteem. It will be shaken when you find yourself in unfamiliar terrain. But with both, you'll thrive. When your self-esteem is steady and your well-being is good, your self-confidence shines brighter. If you love and value yourself, you'll embrace your strengths and weaknesses in any situation, and your self-esteem will motivate you to be a more confident person. What are the benefits of developing self-confidence? Why do people need to be confident in life? Improved self-confidence can add many benefits to your life that you may not even realize. The impacts reach both your professional and personal life. Here are 4 benefits that self-confidence can bring to your life. 1. Experience healthy relationships. Self-confidence can be infectious. It helps make those around you feel more confident and comfortable when communicating with you. At heart, self-confidence is about appreciating and trusting yourself. When you know and accept your own strengths and weaknesses, you're better able to appreciate and support the people around you. While confidence is great for loving others, it also helps you show love to yourself. You'll find that you'll have a better understanding of yourself and others. Your confidence could encourage you to leave any toxic or unhealthy relationships that hurt your well-being. In the end, you're improving your wellness and practicing self-care. 2. Succeed more in your jobs. With any job or task you have to tackle, your self-confidence will be there to hype you up for the big moments. It will also sustain you through the hard work and times of growth and uncertainty. You won't waste time going back and forth worrying over your abilities or what others think of you. You will seem at ease in the way you perform. Self-confidence can also help you develop leadership skills because you can easily connect and communicate. 3. Welcome new chapters without worry. Life is full of new beginnings. New beginnings aren't as daunting when you're confident in yourself. You can better believe in your abilities when testing your limits and trying new things. Confident people also make decisions more easily. Their confidence spills over into their decision-making process, making new adventures exciting, not scary. 4. Experience greater resilience. Even confident people can't avoid mistakes or failures. It's part of life, and no matter how much your confidence encourages you, you aren't immune. Instead, your self-confidence will help you accept responsibility and understand that you're constantly learning throughout life. Self-confidence doesn't come from one moment or action, and it persists despite the bad moments. After acknowledging that you make mistakes, your self-confidence will help pick you up and bounce back faster. You'll know you've done your best, and you can view it as a learning opportunity. How to be more confident. Fortunately, there are several ways you can increase your self-confidence. Whether you lack confidence in one specific area or struggle to feel confident about anything, these 9 confidence boosters can help. 1. Stop comparing yourself to others. Do you compare how you look to people you follow on Instagram? Or maybe you compare your salary to what your friend earns. Social comparison theory explains that making comparisons is natural. But it isn't likely to help boost your self-confidence. It may even have the opposite effect. A 2018 study published in Personality and Individual Differences found a direct link between envy and the way we feel about ourselves. Specifically, researchers noted that when people compare themselves to others, they experience envy. And the more envy they have, the worse they feel about themselves. How do you build self-confidence when you notice that you are drawing comparisons? First, remind yourself that doing so isn't helpful. Everyone is running their own race and life isn't a competition. If you're feeling envious of someone else's life, it's also helpful to remember your own strengths and successes. Keep a gratitude journal to better recall the areas in life where you are blessed. This can help you focus on your own life versus focusing on the lives of others. 2. Surround yourself with positive people. Take a moment and think about how your friends make you feel. Do they lift you up, or do they bring you down? Are they constantly judging you, or do they accept you for who you are? The people you spend time with can influence your thoughts and attitudes about yourself, perhaps more than you realize. So, pay attention to how others make you feel. If you feel bad about yourself after hanging out with a particular person, it may be time to say goodbye. Instead, surround yourself with people who love you and want the best for you. Seek out others who are positive and can help build your confidence. Self-confidence and a positive attitude go hand in hand. 3. Take care of your body. This tip for how to be more confident is based on the idea that it's hard to feel good about yourself if you're abusing your body. When you practice self-care, you know you're doing something positive for your mind, body, and spirit, and you'll naturally feel more confident as a result. Here are a few self-care practices linked to higher levels of self-confidence. Diet. Healthy eating comes with many benefits, including higher levels of confidence and self-esteem. When you fuel your body with nutrient-dense foods, you feel healthier, stronger, and more energized, which can result in feeling better about yourself. Exercise. Studies consistently show that physical exercise boosts self-confidence. For instance, a 2016 study found that regular physical activity improved participants' body image. And when their body image improved, they felt more confident. Meditation. More than just a relaxation practice, meditation can help boost self-confidence in several ways. For one, it helps you to recognize and accept yourself. Meditation also teaches you to stop negative self-talk and disconnect from unhelpful mental chatter interfering with your confidence. Sleep. Skimping on sleep can take a toll on your emotions. Conversely, good quality sleep has been linked with positive personality traits, including optimism and self-esteem. 4. Be kind to yourself. Self-compassion involves treating yourself with kindness when you make a mistake, fail, or experience a setback. It allows you to become more emotionally flexible and helps you better navigate challenging emotions, enhancing your connection to yourself and others. A 2015 study connects self-compassion with self-confidence. So the next time you're in a challenging situation, recognize that being imperfect or falling short at times is a part of being human. Do your best to navigate these experiences with compassion toward yourself. 5. Practice positive self-talk. Negative self-talk can limit your abilities and lessen your self-confidence by convincing your subconscious that you can't handle something or that it is too hard, and you shouldn't even try. Self-talk that is optimistic, on the other hand, can foster self-compassion and help you overcome self-doubt and take on new challenges. The next time you begin to think that you have no business speaking up in a meeting or that you are too out of shape to work out, remind yourself that your thoughts aren't always accurate. Then find a way to turn those thoughts around into more positive self-talk. Here are a few examples of ways to challenge pessimistic self-talk and reframe your thoughts into a more positive way of thinking, increasing your self-confidence along the way. I can't handle this, or this is impossible, becomes I can do this, or all I have to do is try. I can't do anything right, becomes I can do better next time, or at least I learned something. I hate public speaking, becomes I don't like public speaking, and everyone has strengths and weaknesses. 6. Face your fears. Stop putting things off until you feel more self-confident, like asking someone on a date or applying for a promotion. One of the best ways to build your confidence in these situations is by facing your fears head-on. Practice facing some of your fears that stem from a lack of self-confidence. If you're afraid you'll embarrass yourself or think that you're going to mess up, try anyway. A little self-doubt can even help improve performance. Tell yourself it's just an experiment and see what happens. You might learn that being a little anxious or making a few mistakes isn't as bad as you thought. And each time you move forward, you gain more confidence in yourself. In the end, this can help prevent you from taking risks that will result in major negative consequences. 7. Do things you're good at. What happens when you do things that you are good at? Your self-confidence starts to soar. Your strengths become even stronger, which helps improve your belief in yourself. Taking this approach also has another benefit. It can increase how satisfied you are with your life. One study found that believing in your ability to build on your personal strengths is moderately related to life satisfaction levels. This starts with identifying what those strengths are. Then, work to make them stronger by engaging with them regularly. If you're good at a certain sport, for instance, make it a point to train or play at least once a week. If you're good at a particular task at work, try to do that task more often. Building on your strengths can also help you build your self-confidence. 8. Know when to say no. While doing things you're good at can give your self-confidence a boost, it's equally important to recognize situations that can cause your confidence to plummet. Maybe you find that every time you participate in a certain activity, you feel worse about yourself instead of better. Saying no to activities that tend to zap your self-confidence is okay. Certainly, you don't want to avoid doing anything that makes you feel uncomfortable because discomfort is often part of the personal growth process. At the same time, there's nothing wrong with knowing your boundaries and sticking to them. Setting social and emotional boundaries enables you to feel safer psychologically. It can also help you feel more in control. Self-confidence is, in part, feeling like you have control over your life. Boundaries help establish this feeling of control. The next time someone suggests doing something that you know will lower your self-confidence, respectfully decline. You don't have to avoid that activity forever either. Once you learn how to be more confident, you may feel strong enough to try it again, without hurting the confidence you have in yourself. 9. Set realistic goals. Pursuing your goals often involves failing several times until you figure out what works. This can make you wonder if you have what it takes to succeed. It can also leave you questioning how to be more confident while still achieving your dreams. The answer lies in setting realistic goals. Setting high-reaching goals and failing to achieve them has been found to damage confidence levels. Conversely, realistic goals are achievable. And the more you achieve your goals, the greater your confidence in yourself and your abilities. To set realistic goals, write down what you want to achieve. Next, ask yourself what chance you have of attaining it. Be honest. If the answer is slim to none, the goal may be a bit too lofty. Dial it back so it is more realistic and more achievable. This may require doing a bit of research on your part. For instance, if you have a goal to lose weight, experts recommend losing 1 to 2 pounds per week for healthy, long-term weight loss. Knowing this helps you set a goal in line with this guideline, boosting your self-confidence when you hit it. 10. Don't be afraid to open up. It can be scary to be vulnerable with new people and within your surroundings. But as you're learning new things and stepping outside of your comfort zone, don't be afraid to let yourself open up. Be present with where you are and what you're doing. As you grow, you can acknowledge your fear and worries, but don't let that prevent you from exposing yourself to new things. Everyone struggles with confidence issues at one time or another. Fortunately, there are several things that you can do to boost self-confidence. In many cases, learning how to act confident can actually help you feel more confident. Sometimes low self-confidence is a sign of a mental health condition such as depression or anxiety. If your self-confidence interferes with your work, social life, or education, consider talking to a mental health professional. A therapist can help you better understand the issue, recommend treatment, and work with you to develop skills to build your self-confidence. If you like this podcast, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.